all-time loser. Headlong and true, his dad distance great. Steam breaking on his smile paddle, and the train in one stop.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Amicable Insurance Park for Game 2 of the 2016 Baseball America Fictional set. Game between the Normal C's and the Loco Motives. And in the first game, the Loco Motives were on a literal roll as they were rolling down the tracks. And so were the Normal C's, for that matter. Neither pitcher decided to show up. Final score in that game ended up being 13-11, with the Locomotives getting 2 in the bottom of the ninth after blowing the lead early on. So we're ready to go for Game 2. Got the board all set up. Choo-choo. All right, Steve. Got the board all set up, and I've got the umpires where they need to be. They have switched one base from their opening day. Ballpark car in the middle of the board. That's what I had. You talking about right here? Or are you talking about up? I had it up by the umpires, so I'm not sure if you're talking about right here in the middle where the players are or not. That's usually where I roll the dice. Amicable Insurance Park, I'll say it again, is semi-big for left-handed batters and normal for right-handed batters. There is a caveat. All glove results are considered home runs due to the high walls in the outfield. Between the pitcher and the batter, right there, I'm assuming you're saying. Is that correct, Steve? Right there? Just like that. That way it shows up on camera. So if we get a glove check, there's no need to check for a robbing of a home run because in Amicable Insurance Park, the walls are so high, no one can jump to it. So if we get a glove check, it's an automatic home run, no doubt about it. All right, now, let's go through the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Normal C's, team number 3 in the 2016 set. Leading off will be the right fielder Manny Facero. Hitting second will be first baseman Bernie Conroy. Hitting third is center fielder Gary Mosby. Batting cleanup is Hubie Wagner in left. Hitting fifth is catching Wes Horton. Eddie Milner at third will bat sixth. Carlos Ennis will bat seventh and play second. Jorge Gonzalez is the shortstop batting eighth, and the pitcher for the Normal C's is left-hander Norm Walling. He will bat ninth as we're not using DHs in this league. All right, for the homestanding Locomotives from the town of Loco, it is Vince Hairston leading off in center field. This is team 3 in the set. Bill Hemond is in left field hitting second. Josh Lapham is what I'm going to call him, is at second base hitting third. Roy Alcantara is in right field hitting cleanup. Ricky Guerra is at first base hitting fifth. Denny Klug is the third baseman. He will hit sixth. Eddie Machado is catching. He will bat seventh. Rune Ferguson is the shortstop hitting eighth. And batting ninth will be the pitcher, Richie Rivers. And as you can see, Richie Rivers is tough. He's got the flash and the double control quality. So could be good news for him. We'll check the umpires. At the plate is Chris Miramonte. At first base is Del Sprinkle. Second base will be Wally Werner. And at third base, the crew chief, he had the home plate yesterday, Bobby Gatewood. All right, now based on yesterday's results, the hot player for the Normal C's is Conroy. The cold player is Wagner. For the Locomotives, the hot player is the leadoff guy, Hairston. Cold player is the first baseman, Guerra. And, of course, we've got the last thing to do, which is the pregame checks to see about chemistry and mood going into the next game. So, we've only had one game, so what we do is roll one die, and if it's a 1, then they get automatic, the team that won gets automatic harmony. Team that lost gets automatic dissonance, but if it's more than 1, then we go to the mood finder. So we'll start out with the home team, the Locomotives. They had a 1-game winning streak because they won the first game. Is this going to be a 1 or not? No, it's not. So they're going to have to go to the mood finder, which is the dot of the decider die. Are they ready to win today? No, they're not. So they're going to be semi-dissonant, and they're going to go off the stormy chart. Semi-dissonant and stormy chart. And Steve, if I'm doing something wrong, please shoot me a quick message saying, hey, you forgot this or whatever. So, because I'm hoping I'm doing this correctly. I've been doing it for a while this way, so hopefully I'm doing it the right way. So we're going to go off the stormy chart, and if it's a 1 through 5, we've got some kind of thing going on. If it's 6, we got injuries. It's a 4, and under the 4, that is for the batting coach. So we're going to see what the batting coach has to say. And it's a 2. And under batting coach and a 2, it's a major issue with starter. So that's a problem. Somebody's got a major issue. Now we have to figure out which starter. It's 5. So the starter is the designated hot batter. How do you like that? All right. The designated hot batter is Mr. Hairston, the leadoff guy. So let's see what his major issue is. It's a 2, so he is going to be, look at this, he's a utility until further notice. So let's check at his card. Hairston was a champion. So Steve, I'm assuming by this role that this champion is no longer valid until further notice at least. And he now becomes a utility guy rather than a champion. So I'm assuming that's correct. It's the first time I've used that particular role. So I'm thinking if he's going to become a utility till further notice, then he can't be a champion. Or does he keep the champion and just add the utility? So I'm not sure exactly. It may just be that he gets the utility added to him. So I'm not sure. But I'm going to write it down. Hairston, utility till further notice. Oh, he's a champion. Oh, so he doesn't lose whatever's here. He just adds the utility quality. Thank you very much. All right, so Hairston is utility until further notice. So I have to keep that in mind when those roles come up. All right, now we're ready to check the normal C's. And they lost the first game, so as long as it's not a 1, they won't be dissonant. It's a 5, so we're going to go to the mood finder again. Are they ready to break their losing streak? Yes, they are. So they're going to be semi-harmonious based on that, and they will roll off the sunny side. So let's see what the result is for the sunny side. It's a 5. So sunny side 5 is local media. Let's see what the local media has to say. It's a 2. Can't hardly see it on camera. It's a 2. Major perk with a player. Let's see which player we're talking about. That is a 1. So the major perk with the player is the starting infielder. So let's see which infielder we're talking about. It's a 2. So the infielder is the second baseman. So the second baseman for the normal C's is Mr. Ennis. So let's see what the major perk is for Ennis. It's a 5. So the major perk for Ennis is he is hot until further notice. So Mr. Ennis, although he's not the designated hot player in this game, he is now going to be hot until further notice. So he could carry that for several games. So we made notes of those. And now we're ready to go after all the pregame checks are out of the way. Finally get ready for some baseball after the prelims. Get those game day charts out of the way and we're ready to go. Got our book in front of us. And I'm going to try as best I can to put the book up here to show the results after every play. So we're ready to go with Richie Rivers on the mound facing Manny Facero. Manny Facero is a semi-hero, semi-slugger, and semi-patient. So we've got some pop from the leadoff spot. And it's a 2.56. So 2.56 says, is the pitcher struggler? No. Is batter champion or patient? Well, he is semi-patient, but the decider die says he's not patient this at bat. So immediately we have infield drama. That's the first thing to go to is infield drama. So we're going to do infield drama. And on the infield for the home team, the Locomotives, Ferguson is semi-gold. Everybody else is neutral. So Ferguson will be gold. It's a 3.6. So he's a shortstop if that's called into play. But this is third baseman gold. No, third baseman Milner is actually, third baseman, Klug is neutral. So it says if he was gold, he'd take a bad hop but save the play and throw the batter out. Otherwise, pitcher mishandles, the wrong one. Crazy bouncing grounder, recovered nice and make play, grounded. Otherwise, batter safe at first on an error. So we start the game We start the game with an error, E5, as Mr. Klug booted that one. And that's not a good thing to do if you're the Locomotives. That's not the way to go down the track. So here comes Bernie Conroy, first baseman. Conroy, it's a 1-1-5, and I believe the 1-1s usually talk about freshness. So 1-1-5, 1-1-5, fresh. Yes, he is. Pop out to the fielder of our choice. Conroy is a righty, so we'll give the third baseman a chance for a reprieve and say he caught that pop-up. So pop up to third is 1 out. Runner still at first, and that'll bring up Gary Mosby. He is a home run king, semi-eager, and a whiffer. And Mosby gets 2-2-4. 2-2-4 is pitching at home. Why, yes, they are. They are pitching at beautiful Amicable Insurance Park, so the home pitcher gets the perk there with a pop out to short. And there's 2 away, so that's the one spot in the game where the home team does get the advantage other than the last at bat. And that'll bring up Hubie Wagner, the cleanup hitter. Hubie Wagner is a designated cold player in this game. He's a semi-hero, semi-slugger, semi-patient, and a whiffer. And that's a 2-5-6. 2-5-6, I think we had that earlier. Is he a struggler? No. Is he a champion or patient? He is semi-patient. And this time the decider die agrees with him, so this will be a walk. So sometimes the decider die is in your favor, sometimes it is not. And there's 2 on with 2 outs for Wes Horton, the catcher. He's a hero, semi-slugger, and semi-whiffer. And that's a 2-2-5. 2-2-5. 2-2-5. Is he a star? Rivers is a semi-star. Decider die says he's a star. So therefore, it's a ground out to the infielder of our choice. So we're going to be kind and give it to the third baseman again. Help his confidence a little bit. So he will make the play and the inning will be over. So the error does not come back to get the Locomotives. So after half an inning of play, it is normal, nothing, and Loco coming to bat. And Mr. Hairston, who is normally a champion and a slugger, and now he got, because of the game check, he is utility till further notice. So I have to keep that in mind, that if the utility quality comes up, he will have to draw that. All right, 3-3-6. 3-3-6 is the pitcher an ace. No, Walling is a semi-ace, but the decider die says no. Is he utility or patient? Well, he got the utility quality from the game day check, so unfortunately he is utility. He gets called out for strike 3. So he would not have struck out otherwise, but drawing that utility quality on the game day check just cost him a strikeout. So Mr. Hairston, not happy, brings up Bill Hemond, left fielder, and that's a 1-3-3. And a 1-3-3 is blank for the pitcher. Is the batter a slugger? Mr. Hemond just happens to be a slugger. So a 1-3-3, slugger, home run to center field. So Mr. Hemond gets the Locomotives going in the right direction down the track with a home run. A blast to deep center. Steve, yes it does. That's one of the things that adds to this game and keeps it fresh. Pardon the pun. Unlike some of the other games out there, you never know what you're going to get on the game day check, and that's one of my favorite parts of the game, actually, is the game day check. All right, here is Mr. Lapham. Should ask Keith how to pronounce these things. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Is he a control pitcher? Mr. Walling is a control pitcher, so he does have control. It'll be ground out back to Walling for out number 2. So he recovers from the home run by getting Mr. Lapham out. And that'll bring up Ray Alcantara. He is a semi-slugger and a semi-home run king. So he's got some juice. 1-4-5. 1-4-5, is he a struggler? No, he's not a struggler. Batter is blank, so it's a ground out to either first or third. Since he's a right-handed batter, I'm going to go ahead and say he grounds to third. Not that it really matters. Don't be that technical, I don't suppose. But that's the end of the first inning, but thanks to the Hemond home run, the Locomotives take a 1-0 lead into the second here at Amicable Insurance Park. So now top of the second, Joey Milner, the batter. Milner's the third baseman, batting left against the righty Rivers. 1-2-4, 1-2-4, 1-2-4, control. Well, Mr. Rivers has double control. So if I remember the rules correctly, when you get a ground out and the pitcher has double control, that's 2 consecutive ground outs. Just like the part right here. Ground out to pitcher in short. This is a ground out to short. So I'm assuming it's 2 straight ground outs. And Steve, you can correct me if that's not right. But I'm reading it that way as 2 consecutive ground outs. I'll give one, the book gave one to the shortstop. I'll give the other one to the pitcher. I'll just make it backwards. And there's 2 away. So I'm assuming that the double control gives him 2 ground outs. That's the way I read the book. So 2 quick outs. And here comes up Jorge Gonzalez. 3-4-6 for Gonzalez. 3-4-6 is blank for the pitcher. Is he eager? Mr. Gonzalez, unfortunately for him, is eager. So Mr. Gonzalez flies to center to end the inning. All right, thanks, Steve. I'll change both of those to a 6-3 ground outs. Back-to-back 6-3 ground outs. And a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Rivers as he is rolling along here. Into the top of the second. The normal C's get nothing. We go to the bottom of the second, and it'll be Ricky Guerra. And Guerra is the designated cold batter for the team. It's a 3-3-4. 3-3-4 asks, is the pitcher an ace or a star? Ace or a star? He is a semi-ace, but the decider die says not this time. Is the batter a sad sack? Mr. Guerra is not a sad sack. He's loaded. So it's a single to left, unless he's eager, which he is not. So it is a single for Ricky Guerra. He will lead things off with a single. And if you look at Guerra's card, he is pretty much loaded. He's a hero, a slugger, semi-home run king, semi-patient, and a semi-whiffer. So there you go. He gets the leadoff single. Here's Denny Klug, third baseman. And that's a 3-4-5. 3-4-5, iron catcher. Horton is semi-iron. Decider die says he's iron, so it's a walk. Semi-ace works for that result. Semi-ace works for that result. It says ace or star. So you're saying on the 3-3-4, when it's an ace or a star, that a semi-ace covers that as well? Is that what you were saying? Are you saying this 3-3-4 ace or star that a semi-ace covers that? I'm confused on that one now. This one it says it's ace or a star, and there was no decider die, or decider die was a blank. I mean, so I took it to mean that was. All right, so you're saying a semi-ace. I don't understand the logic there, Steve. If it's ace or a star, then you're saying a semi-ace because it accepts a lower quality like a star, that a semi-ace, it's like between an ace and a star. Is that what the logic is on that? If it's either an ace, if he's got a quality between an ace or a star. Okay, so that's what you're saying. So this result basically is saying not if they have these exact 2 qualities, but if they fall in between the range of these qualities, then that result sticks. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm hearing you say, or seeing you type, is that if you're between these ranges, since a semi-ace beats a star, then that means that this result would be a good result, and that would be a pop out to first rather than a single. So I think that's what you're telling me, Steve. Tell me if I'm wrong on that. I think that's what you're telling me. Okay, so all right, Guerra will not single. He will pop it up to first. Thank you for correcting me on that. I'd always been playing it to where they had to have the full quality, but I'll try to keep that in mind going forward. So I'm going to re-roll for Denny Klug because I got distracted there and I don't remember what the roll was. and now that nobody's on base, I want to play a little bit differently. So Denny Klug, the batter, it's a 3-4-6. So Denny Klug, a 3-4-6 is blank for the. Oh, thank you. I'll have to go check that out. All right, so a 3-4-6 is blank for the I think that's what I had last time. No, that's not what I had. Denny Klug is not eager because Denny Klug is a semi-hero, a slugger, and a whiffer, so he's not eager. So he's going to end up drawing. Oh, this thing is getting blurry on me here. He's going to end up drawing a walk because he was not eager. The pitcher was blank on the 3-4-6. He was not eager, so he will walk. And he is stoic, so he's not going to steal. But he will walk, and that result was in purple, so we will go to the chemistry chart. And on the chemistry chart, the locomotives are semi-dissonant, and the normal C's are semi-harmonious for Eddie Machado's at bat. So we'll see what happens here. It's a 1-6, so they're both either going to be harmonious or dissonant on the chemistry chart, as neither manager used a card on that one. So it's a 1-6, and a 1-6 says batting team dissonance. Yes, they are dissonant. Distracted, swings at a poor pitch for a pop out. So since they were dissonant, Eddie Machado swung at a poor pitch, and he pops it out for out number 2. 2 down, runner at first, Klug thanks to the walk, and here is Ferguson, Rune Ferguson, number 8 hitter, shortstop. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? No, he's not. The batter is blank. It's a ground out, this time to third again because of a right-handed batter. So it's a 5-3 ground out, and that will end the second inning. Nothing doing for the Locomotives, and after 2 complete, it is Loco 1 and Normal nothing. And now we're up to the pitchers hitting cards, and they give you a little placeholder here so that you can remind yourself, even if you're keeping score, sometimes you'd forget the pitcher is batting. So this is going to be Norm Walling. We're going to use the batting card results off of Walling, the sad sack, utility, and whiffer, and see what he can do as he leads off the inning. It's a 1-1-4, probably a freshness check. 1-1-4. Yep, it's a freshness check. We're in the third inning, so starters keep their freshness through 3 innings. So he is fresh. It's a ground out to short. So Walling will ground to short for 1 away, so at least he didn't strike out. And now we're back to the top of the order for Manny Facero. Facero, 2-2-2. Triples are good for the hitters most cases. 2-2-2. Pitcher is blank. Sad sack will fly out to right field. Facero's not a sad sack. So that's a double to center, but there's 3 stars behind that, or 3 asterisks. And the 3 asterisks say home run king hits home run. Unfortunately for Facero, he's a semi-slugger, but not a home run king. But he will get a double. So it's a 1-out double for Facero. And that result was in purple, so we're going right back to the chemistry chart. Right back to the chemistry chart. Semi-dissonant against semi-harmonious, and Bernie Conroy, the batter. And they're both dissonant and harmonious. It's a 4-6. 4-6 pitching team dissonance. Yes, they are. Pitcher distracted allows base on balls. So I might start using some manager cards here when they get to this chemistry thing, because that's cost them 2 results in a row. So runners at first and second, it does set up a force play for Gary Mosby. Mosby, 1-2-3. Well, that's going to be good and bad for the pitcher because that's a flash and freshness check, but it's going to cost him a double play because it's going to get him a strikeout on this 1-2-3. He is flash and he is fresh, but had he not been, it would have been a ground out to short and it would have been a double play. But he'll take the strikeout if he can get it. That's out number 2, but it would have ended the inning. But unfortunately for him, it is a strikeout. So now it's up to Hubie Wagner. And Hubie Wagner walked his first time up. It's a 1-3-6. 1-3-6. Ask, is he an ace? He is not an ace. He is a semi-star, but not an ace. Then it asks, is he whiffer or cold? Well, Mr. Wagner is the designated cold player on the pregame checks, so he goes down swinging. So that's going to end the inning as Mr. Rivers rolling along like old man Rivers and gets out of that jam. And we go to the bottom of the third. Loco still in front, 1-0. And that'll bring up Mr. Rivers. He gets the chance to bat for himself. He has the typical pitcher hitting qualities. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Ask, is the catcher iron? Mr. Horton is a semi-iron catcher, but the sire die says no. Does the batter have a good eye? Obviously, the pitcher is not going to have a good eye. He's semi-eager. So he will strike out. So Rivers with the whiff. And that result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart. And since we're in the third inning, these are semi-qualities. So Walling is semi-hot for striking out Rivers. And Hairston is semi-cold for having struck out. So Hairston will give it a go. And they're both going to be neutral thanks to the sire die being a blank. So 4-6 on the right now chart says hot pitcher. No, he's not hot. He's neutral. If he was, he would baffle batter with called third strike. Otherwise, grounder to pitcher with only play at first base. So didn't matter because nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a ground out for out number 2, but at least he avoided the whiff. And that'll bring up Mr. Heeman. He's responsible for the only run of the game with his home run on that 1-3-3 roll last time. So 1-3-6 and a 1-3-6. He just missed the 1-3-3 again. 1-3-6 asks, is he an ace? And Mr. Walling is a semi-ace. The sire die says he's an ace. So he is an ace, and that's going to be a strikeout unless the batter has a good eye, which Mr. Heeman does not. So Heeman feast to famine from home run to strikeout. And after 3 complete, it is a 1-0 score. And as we go to the 4th, both pitchers now will move to semi-freshness. And Mr. Horton, catcher, is up to the plate to lead off the top of the 4th. And it's a 2-3-5. 2-3-5 for Heeman. Is the pitcher wild? No, he's got double control. Is the batter eager? No, he's not eager. So he's going to ground out to second unless he's patient. He is not patient, so it's simple ground out to second. And Horton's gone for 1 away. That'll bring up Joey Milner. Joey Milner, the third baseman, grounded to short his first time up. 2-2-3, 2-2-3. Is he wild? No, he's not wild. Is he a slugger or utility? Mr. Milner is a slugger. So since he's a slugger, he will line out to short. But he's also a whiffer, so the whiffer, thanks to the thumb, means he's going to strike out instead of lining to short. So that is a strikeout for Mr. Milner, and that's 2 away. That'll bring up Mr. Carlos Ennis, and Ennis is the one who's hot until further notice, thanks to the game day check. 3-5-5. 3-5-5, is he a struggler? No. Is the batter a champion? Mr. Ennis is no champion. So he doesn't double. He will ground out to second. And in fact, he is a semi-whiffer. So it says here that if he's a whiffer, he'll strike out. But the sire die says no, so the ground out to second will stand. But they'll take it. If you're the Locomotives, Mr. Rivers has now pitched 4 shutout innings. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still a 1-0 ball game. And this is a lot different than the first matchup these two teams had, which was a 13-11 final. So this has turned completely around today. And Mr. Joseph Lapham will lead off for the Locomotives. And it's a 1-3-5. We have our first unusual play result. Lead die of 1 that is red, and a black 3 is memorable plays in the field. So memorable plays in the field. We'll roll 2 dice plus the decider. Check it out. We get a 3-3, so that's going to take us to another chart, I believe. 3-3 is a highlight reel A. So we go to highlight reel A, and there's another chart for that. So we'll roll on that one under highlight reel A. And we get a 5-6 under highlight reel A. Highlight reel A, where are you? There you are. Highlight reel A. It's a 5-6. 5-6 single, but batter tries to stretch to double. Caught in rundown, tagged out, runners advance. All right, so Lapham singles, but then got caught in a rundown, and he is out. There's nobody else to advance because he was the leadoff batter, so I'm not even sure how I want to score that. I'm going to say single to right, so I'll just make something up here. We'll do 9. We'll do 9, 6, 3, 4. How about that, just to be creative? So Lapham took a large turn, tried to stretch it into that single into a double, and it cost him. So a little bit too aggressive. And there's 1 away for Alcantara. Alcantara is a 2-4-6. 2-4-6 for Alcantara. The control. Does he have control? Yes, he does. Mr. Walling does have control, so it's a ground out back to the pitcher for out number 2. And both pitchers are rolling. Both pitchers are rolling. And here's Ricky Guerra. 255. 255. 255. Is he a star? He is a semi-ace, but not a star. Now, Steve, using the same logic, I don't think that the semi-ace would take over for this. I'm thinking he just has to have the star quality for this. Is that correct? Because he's better than a star. He's a semi-ace, but I'm thinking this thing here is asking specifically if he's a star. It doesn't give the ace or star thing. So I'm going to skip that, thinking he doesn't qualify for that. So we go to the next one and ask if it's a home run king. And Ricky Guerra is a semi-home run king, and the sire die is a dot. So that means he's a home run king. That means Ricky Guerra has just gone yard and blasted one, and it is 2-0 in favor of the Locomotives. So Locomotives have now taken a 2-0 lead thanks to the blast by Guerra. And that brings up Denny Klug. 113. 113. Is he an ace? Is he an ace? He is a semi-ace. The sire die says he's an ace. So therefore it's a ground out to first. And that's going to end the inning. But the Locomotives, with another blast, solo shot, take a 2-0 lead after 4. And we go to the 5th. It'll be Jorge Gonzalez to lead things off. He flied to center his first time up. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Is he a struggler? No. And it's a ground out to the third baseman for out number 1. Steve, I'm doing my best to get the to get History Maker Baseball out in the forefront. I actually bought a newer version and gave my older version to someone else who's now playing History Maker games on their channel. So I'm trying to do what I can to get the word out some more. There's been a lot of Stratomatic videos and so forth out, but I want to get more exposure for this game as best I can because I just like the game. So, all right. So Walling is the batter. He's the pitcher. It's a 3-5-5. 3-5-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is he a champion? No, the pitcher's not going to be a champion. He's going to ground to second, but then again, he could be a whiffer. And Mr. Walling is, in fact, a whiffer, so he will strike out. For out number 2. All right, 2 down. Nobody on for Manny Facero. Manny Facero, 1-3-5. We're back to the unusual play. A blue 1. Means we're going to wake the umpires up and get them out of their slumber. The bases are empty, so we're going to the umpire bases empty chart and see who gets called on. It is a 4-5 with the decider. So a 4-5 asks, is a strict umpire at first? Well, the first base umpire is Del Sprinkle, and he is not strict. Oh, Steve, I definitely, I'm a member, or I joined the play community. So yeah, I definitely do that. I even friended Keith Avalone. So trying to stay connected as I can. All right, so Sprinkle is not strict, so that check fails. So it's not a strict umpire at home. If it was, batter out on close play. Other umpires rule batter safe. So that's going to be, now on this one, Steve, since the umpire ruled the batter safe, I'm just going to call that an infield single. I don't think you call it an error. I think you just call it an infield single. So that's what I'm going with. Please correct me if that is not correct. All right, so Facero, because the umpire was not strict, got away with it and was called safe. We'll give him an infield hit. That'll bring up Bernie Conroy. And that's a 3-5-5. 3-5-5 for Mr. Conroy. Struggler, no. Is he a champion? Conroy is not a champion. So he'll ground out to second, and he's not a whiffer, so it's the ground out to second's going to stand. And the inning is over. So through 5 complete, Mr. Rivers, large and in charge, rolling with a 2-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and Eddie Machado. Eddie Machado. And Steve, I believe when I watched your 2014 one of your games, Eddie Machado was a catcher, either for Cape Cod or for New England. I'm not sure which one. Might have been Cape Cod. I don't remember. But I do remember Eddie Machado. That name does ring a bell. All right, 355. 355. Now Steve's talking heads. 355. Struggler, no. Champion, no. So he's going to ground out to second, although he is a semi-whiffer. The sire die says he's a whiffer, so poor Mr. Machado will take a seat and grab some bench on a strikeout. So here is Rune Ferguson. 466. 466. Is he wild? No. Is Mr. Ferguson a home run king or a slugger? Mr. Ferguson is neither one. So he's going to single to left field. Active runner would steal, but he is not active. But it's going to be a single by Ferguson either way. So that'll bring up Richie Rivers, the pitcher, with one out and a runner at first base. So we're going to get our first manager card to be used, and it's going to be to attempt a bunt. So we're going to roll one die and see what happens here. It's a 2. So a 2 says active runner will be safe at first. Well, Rivers is not active. He's stoic, so the sacrifice is good. He's out at first, but the sacrifice does work. And there'll be 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for Mr. Hairston, who is unfortunately utility until further notice, but he might even be able to do something with that. We'll see. 156. 156. 156 blank for the pitcher. Is he a whiffer? Mr. Hairston is a semi-whiffer, but the sire die says no, so we have outfield drama. Outfield drama. And for the normal C's in their outfield, Wagner is semi-iron, and Facero is semi-iron. So those two are both iron. 3-3 for the outfield drama. Left fielder Gold. No, he's iron. If he was Gold, he would retrieve a single and hold a batter at first. Otherwise, it's a single plus an error with the batter going to second. So that's going to score Ferguson because of that error. The single will take him to third, but the error will have him score. And Hairston will get to second on the error by the left fielder. So E7 allows the run to come in. Mr. Wagner booted that one. And it is now a 3-0 ball game. And that'll bring up Bill Hemond. He's feast or famine. He struck out and homered. 256. 256 for Mr. Hemond. 256. Struggler. No, he's not a struggler. Not yet. Champion or patient. Champion or patient. Bill Hemond is a semi-champion. The sire die says he's a champion. So he will walk. So he will draw a walk. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs. And that will bring up Josh Lapham. So Walling on the ropes here. 3-3-4. Oh, what did I do, Steve? Did I miss an experience chart roll? You know what? That error, I think, it sure did. My bad. It's in red. I should know that. Everything on the drama chart sends you somewhere else. So, yes, it does go to the experience chart. Thank you for catching that for me. Let's see here. The roll was the left fielder Gold. Let's see here. Where would it go here? Oh, it's up here, right? Let's see here. Now I lost my train of thought here. Oh, here it is right here. The 3-3 roll. So it is a single, so it is going to be on the experience chart. It is going to be on the experience chart because it's in red. So since he wasn't Gold and he made the error, it's in red. So we go to the experience chart for that at bat. So Hemond really should not have walked. We'll retract that and have him bat off the experience. Hemond is an icon. Walling's an icon. So we got an icon against an icon. Iconic at bat for the 2 icons. And we get a 5-6. 5-6 on the experience. Icon pitcher, yes, fool's batter with off-speed pitch, sky high, pop up to short. And that's going to end the inning. So big difference there. But the run comes in thanks to the error. And after 5 complete, it is the Locomotives 3 and the normal C's nothing. Rivers now will, his potential last inning of semi-freshness, he keeps the shutout going, gets to extend that. But we'll see what happens here. Gary Mosby, the batter, he's 0 for 2. It's a 1-2-6, and I believe that's a freshness check. 1-2-6, is he fresh? Desired Eye says he's fresh, so it's a line out to second. 1 away, and Mr. Rivers is living right. Here's Hubie Wagner. And that is a 1-5-6. 1-5-6 is blank. Is he a whiffer? As way Rivers is going, it's a whiffer, so that's another strikeout. 2 down. Let's see. Rivers has given up a double and a single, both to Facero, the leadoff man. So 2 hits, Steve. He's given up 2 hits only. The leadoff man has reached 3 times, an error and a double and a single. So the leadoff man's the only one that's gotten hits off of him. Here is Wes Horton. 2-3-4 for Wes Horton, and that's runners on base plate drama, but nobody's on base, so we skip that. Is he the hot batter? And Horton is not a hot batter because he grounded out last time. So he's going to pop it up to third, and that's going to end the inning. So through 6 complete, he's got 6 shutout innings going, so he will keep the semi-freshness at least until the 7th. He's got at least 1 more inning of semi-freshness in him. And now Lapham will lead off for the Locomotives against Walling, who's not getting any run support. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? Lapham just happens to be a hero. So that's a base hit to left field. Leadoff single for Lapham. He's 2 for 3. And he gets aboard on a single, and the bullpen is starting to work now for the normal C's. Here's Alcantara. 1-4-5 for Alcantara. Is he a struggler? No. So that's going to be a ground out to third base for a 5-4-3 double play. Lead die of 1 is a double play, so it's around the horn. 5-4-3. And quickly 2 away. Quickly 2 away for Ricky Guerra. 1-3-5, we're unusual play again. And that unusual play will take us to the memorable plays in the field. So we're back to memorable plays in the field with that black 3. And it's a 5-5, so memorable plays in the field will send us to highlight reel A on that 5-5. So we go to highlight reel letter A. And it's a 1-3. 1-3. Batter strikes out, argues with ump, and is ejected from the game. So Ricky Guerra gets tossed by Chris Miramonte, the home plate umpire. He's semi-lenient, but he wasn't going to take that. He's not going to take that. So Mr. Guerra, even though his team's ahead 3-0, just got ejected. And we're going to have to get a new first baseman for Ricky Guerra because he is now gone. You don't argue with the umpires. That is rule number 1. So we have to go to the bench here, and they're going to bring in Damon DeLeon. He's a corner infielder, so he will take over at first base for the ejected Ricky Guerra. So Ricky Guerra will go back to the clubhouse, think about what he did, and he is out of there. So the new first baseman is Mr. DeLeon. Mr. DeLeon is coming in to play first base. All right, now Richie Rivers. We're in the 7th, and normally you would lose all freshness, but since he's got a shutout going, he's going to keep the semi-freshness quality as long as he keeps the shutout. Here's Joey Milner to lead things off. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. That's a good thing I like about this game. I'm getting rolls here I haven't gotten before, even though I've played this game quite a bit. There's so many results you never get to, very rarely get to. Now I'm getting to them now, so it makes it, each game gives you something you haven't seen before. All right, 1-4-5. 1-4-5, struggler, no. It's going to be a ground out to the first baseman because he's left-handed. So it's a 3 unassisted. 4-1 away. And here's Carlos Ennis. Yeah, if Rivers could ever figure out how to get Facero out, he'd really be doing something good. He might have a no-hitter going if that was the case. 166. 166 asks if he's a workman. He certainly is not. Is Ennis a whiffer? Ennis is a semi-whiffer. Desire says he's a whiffer, so that's another strikeout for Mr. Rivers. And that's 2 away, 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jorge Gonzalez. Jorge Gonzalez, the shortstop. It's a 5-5-6. 556 asks, is he an ace? No, he's not an ace. He's a star, semi-star. Is the batter a sad sack? Mr. Gonzalez is not a sad sack. So that's going to be a double to right field and an active runner would steal. Gonzalez is active. So Gonzalez will double and steal third. Kind of unusual play to steal third when there's already 2 outs, but he did it anyway. And that brings up the pitcher spot, so we're going to have a pinch hitter for Mr. Walling. He didn't pitch that badly. He had a quality start, but got no run support. So they're going to check the bench and see who they're going to bring in. And they're going to bring in L.J. Crone. I don't know if he's related to the Crone with the Angels, but L.J. Crone, who has no qualities on his card, and sometimes I found that to be a better result because you don't hit the snags that are in the book. So Mr. Crone is going to pinch hit for Mr. Walling with a runner at third and 2 outs, and this is going to determine whether he keeps his freshness for the 8th inning or not. He has to get Crone out to do it. It's a 1-1-4, and I think that's the freshness check. 1-1-4, it certainly is. Is he fresh? Semi-fresh. Desire says he's fresh. It's a ground ball to short. And so Mr. Rivers will keep it going through 7. And he's going to stay semi-fresh for the next at-bat or next inning as well. So Crone fails in his pinch hitting performance. And now we need a bullpen guy. And it's going to be Vicente Ramos. He will be the new pitcher for the Normal C's. And Steve, I know that this is the bottom of the 7th. And I know in your old videos you would bring out the ukulele and stuff, but I don't have those talents and I don't have a ukulele, so guess you're going to have to, we're just going to have to bypass that unless somebody's got an old tape of Harry Carey or something. So Ramos is the new pitcher, and he will start out facing Denny Klug. Next 87 Braves game. Well, I just did one yesterday. They've got one more game with the Dodgers, and then they move on to San Diego. So I may do one of the San Diego games, depending on what kind of time frame I have and so forth. It may not be live. I may have to do it as a just as a regular recording and post it later. All right, here's Denny Klug. So 1-2-2, and Ramos is an ace since it's his first batter faced. 1-2-2. 1-2-2. Is he a workman? Is he a workman? No, he's not. Is the batter champion or whiffer? Denny Klug happens to be a whiffer, and that means he's going to get an infield single. So that's one time where being a whiffer helps you. He got an infield single, and that's going to put the leadoff man on for Eddie Machado. Machado thought about bunting, but they're going to let him swing away. 1-3-3. 1-3-3 blank for the pitcher. Is Machado a slugger? No, Machado's actually doesn't have any qualities in that direction. So he's going to fly out to left for out number 1. All right, so 1 out, and that'll bring up Rune Ferguson. 2-3-6. 2-3-6 for Ferguson. 2-3-6 double control. No, he's got control, but not double control. So let's see. Pitcher batting, no. So he's going to walk. Rune Ferguson's going to walk. And that will move Klug to second. So runners at first and second with 1 out. And now the pitcher is up, Rivers. But I'm not going to pinch hit for him when he's throwing a shutout. But what I will do is use another manager strategy card and attempt a bunt, because at least he can get the runners possibly into scoring position. So here comes the bunt. It's a 2. which is a good bunt. He would be safe if he was active, but he's stoic. So the sacrifice, that's his second sacrifice in a row for Rivers. So he's even doing the job with the bat as he moves 2 runners into scoring position with 2 outs. And it's up to Hairston to get some insurance runs. 2 on, 2 out, and here is Hairston. It's a 1-2-6. I think that's a freshness check, and it is. And it's the first inning for Ramos, so he is fresh. It's a line out to second, and the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Locomotives in the bottom of the 7th. We played 7 complete with the score Loco 3 and Normal nothing. And Rivers back out there. He still keeps the semi-freshness for 1 more inning because of the fact he's got a shutout going. So here is Manny Facero. He's the one guy that's gotten hits in this game. He's gotten both of the hits for the Normal C's, a single and a double. Can't quite get him out for some reason. 2-3-3. Ace or star? Well, he is a semi-star, but the decider die says no. So he's not an ace or star. Is the batter a slugger? Facero is a semi-slugger. We've already used the decider die once to determine the pitcher, so now we got to roll it again. If it's a dot, we got a home run. It's a blank, so Rivers is still living well as he avoids that home run by the semi-slugger. So then it's a fly out to center field. So that is going to be 1 away, and he finally retires the leadoff man. Third Planet from the Sun. If I'm just playing this on my own and the game is not a slugfest, I can usually get it in 30 minutes tops. Sometimes maybe even less if it's a good pitching duel like this. This kind of game right here, I could probably play in 20 minutes if I wasn't, doing all the other stuff. So time is not a factor. In fact, the game's so enjoyable you don't even realize how much time you're taking. Bernie Conroy, 2-4-5. Bernie Conroy, blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? Bernie Conroy is a semi-hero, but again, Desire dies blank, so Rivers is living really well. 2-4-5, he's not a hero. He's going to pop it out to second, and that results in red. So we will be going to the experience chart for this next at-bat with 2 outs and the base is empty. And that's going to bring up Gary Mosby, who is an icon, and so is Rivers. So they're both icons. Icon against icon. 2 outs, base is empty. It's a 2-2. 2-2 for an icon. That's his prospect pitcher, so he's not a prospect. Not a prospect because they're both icons. If he was a prospect pitcher, it would be a fence check. Otherwise, it's pop out to the pitcher. So Rivers gets him to pop it up right to himself. And he's pitched 8 shutout innings. 8 shutout innings. And Steve, I don't believe he can continue in the 9th. I think he's going to lose freshness in the 9th despite the shutout. But you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think going to the 9th, he's going to lose all freshness no matter what. At least that's the way I've always played it. So that's the way I'm going to continue to play it unless somebody tells me otherwise. All right, Bill Hemond. Hemond, a 3-6. That's the left-right check, the only one in the game. Bill Hemond is a righty, and so is Ramos. So it's going to be a strikeout. Here's Josh Lapham. 1-1-4. That's a freshness check. Ramos is semi-fresh. Desire die says he's fresh, so it will be a ground ball to short. Okay, so he can still keep the semi-freshness if the Desire die is a dot. All right, gotcha. All right, so Alcantara, or Alcantara. And the way the Desire die has been going for Rivers, it very likely will come up as a dot. Let's see here, 1-4-5 for Alcantara. 1-4-5 is a struggler. No way, he's pitching like crazy. So it is a ground ball to first, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Locomotives in the 8th. But we go to the 9th, and we're going to roll the decider die to see if Rivers will keep semi-freshness. Will not. So this time the decider die kept it away from him. Full pair closer, he's ace with that. So he is now. They try to get through this 9th inning, not being face hitter. 4-6 blank for the pitcher. Eager, so he will walk. And so lead off walk for I'm sorry, for Horton. Not Horton, it was well. Let's check the result. And hopefully it's not to keep me. 2 first thrown out, even though he walked right. Your Wagner just got picked. Now that'll the base is empty. We get a 1, 2, 5. 5. 5. Struggling. Patient. Horton is not patient. Found out unless he's a whiffer. The semi says he's a whiffer. So hopefully one more out to go. 5, 5. Innocent. He's a semi whiffer. It's a and we have a pitch to the guy was in his face the entire and he the normal season the Loco 2-0 to 0. Guys, I apologize at the end. Hopefully your name and won by Garrett. So in addition, but everybody else watching, if you got instrument maker baseball, encourage you to have alone, be ingenious, plan, and you would not. The train in this hopefully one was missed from the game. He didn't get a chance to use flawless, who's also a locomotive, so he might be able to get something done in the upcoming games. But that's a great name, Flawless Larry Lawless. I love that name. Keith came up with some great names for this team. So that's going to do it from here. Like I said, I apologize for the buffering. My phone, whatever you want to call it, internet through the phone or whatever, is causing that for some strange reason. Don't know why, but it did. So that's the way things go, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to sign off from here. It's been an hour, and I certainly appreciate all you guys watching. And Steve Tower, I certainly appreciate your interaction and giving me a couple of clarifications on the rules so I can remember those going forward and make sure I'm playing the game correctly. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whatever you have planned. If it's rolling dice, that's great. If it's getting outside and doing something with family, that's great too. Either way, I hope you all have a safe weekend and get ready for the work week tomorrow. But until next time, I'm signing off, and I will see you down the road.